Good day. I'll try to be quick about this. I just want to do a few announcements. Um, First of all, doing something that I'm quite sure I've not done since starting this channel, and that is actually specifically ask people to check out a video. So the video that I'm talking about here, and I mean, if for no other reason than I'm claiming now this is my new number one all-time favorite game of tabletop hockey, especially thinking about it after it was done. Just going about my day after that, and just really thinking about how things actually went down in that game. I realized, like, better than Montreal winning anything, whatever, even as a Habs fan or anything like that. This really was the game. I'm not actually sure if I will experience another tabletop hockey game that I will get as much enjoyment out of, especially again reflecting on it after it was all said and done. So I was quite nervous at the time with the camera on and doing it, and there is some social commentary in the video for if you go over to it and check it out. I think for some obvious reasons, and which I mean, I guess I don't want to say that you can take or leave it. I mean that is the main reason why I did that video. That is the main reason why it's there. But the way that the game itself went down after the fact, not to spoil it or anything, but like in particular, go and check out the second period of the game. I guess if you have time for none other. It's about, I can't remember now exactly though. Sorry, it's about 25 minutes in. And yeah, this one here again, just to reiterate, if you have time for nothing else here, and if you check out only one video on this channel here, please make it this one. That's be my request. And I've never done that before, and I don't see myself doing that again for a while. Certainly not in the foreseeable future. I'm making an exception here. I'd like to see that. I'd even like if somebody else. I was joking actually last night that if somebody else with a bigger channel wants to take this and maybe dub over the voice and pass it off as their own content, because it's all about him. It has nothing to do with me. It's all about this guy here, Stan Chuke Maxwell, and the tribute game that I did for him yesterday with Dog Hockey. But again, it's not really about the game or about me. It's about Stan Maxwell and the story there. So. But I thought if I'm going to put together a talk video, I'd talk about a few different things, at least. And so I'm going to put this in the thumbnail. So again, if you've only got 1 second, not even if, you're on the go, if you're in a hurry, you can just see the thumbnail and you'll probably figure out what this is about. For the 68 Eternal Six League with Hockey Bones, there is a trade rumor. So I've spelled that the American way, and I guess I've spelled this the UK Canadian way and elsewhere. Anyway, so there is a trade rumor. It's I guess might as well just go ahead and give it up. So John McKenzie, I drafted him from Montreal. He's never really felt right for whatever reason. Fred Stanfield, Doug Moens, to a lesser extent, they feel fine as Montreal Canadiens. I'm just not taking a McKenzie. And so I think, especially for a combination of reasons, Boston's roster being a little injury shortened, I think Boston gearing up right now to make a run in what will be a shortened season. And I'll just leave it at that for the time being. Boston gearing up to make, maybe a serious playoff run and take the cup a little earlier in 68 than they did historically with the Big Bad Bruins of 70. They're looking pretty good right now. Though technically they have only won one game in their last four. But the other three have been ties. But still, 7 games. They've not lost a single game. And again, a redrafted, tight, competitive league. Boston looks good. So they're looking at getting John McKenzie, and they would send a fellow John in return to home to Montreal, that being John Ferguson, who was drafted late by Boston. Because McKenzie has played a more prominent role in this replay than has John Ferguson, there will be a couple of picks swapped. Obviously, Montreal will be getting the higher one. Because again, Montreal has McKenzie, and Boston has Ferguson. So to a small extent, some of the teams are going to be reacquiring their original players anyway, which I think if it went down and if it were real, I could see that happening, approaching a trade deadline of sorts. The teams might want to reacquire some familiar faces. Montreal might be phoning it in soon anyway, but not to spoil or anything like that. I've already played a game between Montreal and Detroit, and I think I'm going to hold on to it, though. I think I'm going to wait until tonight, actually, because it was done late at night, and I was playing it with kind of a quieter voice than normal, kind of talking a little bit more like this as I was rolling the game, because it was about midnight here when I did it. And, of course, right now it's like 10, probably about 10 after 10 in the morning. As I'm doing this, I'm not sure exactly, but between 10 and 10:30, I didn't look at the clock. And, of course, I can't see it on this phone right now. But I'm probably gonna wait until tonight, about midnight maybe actually, to actually upload this one here, Montreal and Detroit. So yeah, that was done with Bones because honestly, again, after playing this fantastic game, the Stan Shoot Maxwell tribute game, I almost kind of didn't even really feel like playing any tabletop hockey after that. Like I had to go out, and then after I got home after that, I was kind of like, yeah, oh dear. Anyway, so yeah, I'm such a dork. But Glory Days boxing. So I've started doing the quick play thing, and I've done a couple of bouts with them. I don't think I was doing the first one quite correctly in some ways. I went back and I'm pretty sure that I rolled out a straight clean draw actually, and that's with three judges between Cooper and Koopman. I was just keeping score in my head though, and it was late at night, but it was close enough anyway. I'm going to call it a draw. Again, just exhibition stuff. I've not actually started officially compiling records with the quick play yet, because I still have yet to go out and print all the fighters, the 100 or 204 heavyweights that I have for this. I did, however, just for gits and shiggles, I went and I rolled Muhammad Ali versus Butterbean, and that result anyway ended up being a KO 5. That was basically what happens is the way that the stamina is done. It's an option, and it's an option that I chose to have in place for it. The stamina, you divide the stamina by 10, even the 10 round stamina by 10. I think, yeah, 10 round stamina. I don't think it matters if it's 12, 15 versus the 10. And then you subtract one. And so Butter being the king of four rounders, he had only 4 rounds of stamina. So even though Ali was winning by a country mile, it was finally in the fifth round where Butterbean just didn't have the stamina to recover from a knockdown. Or like that, basically, he was too tired to recover from the knockdown when Ali put him down. So it ended up being Muhammad Ali KO 5 over Butterbean. Anyway, so that's yeah, that's about all that I got for the time being. I see this about 7 minutes now. There's no reason for this to be any longer. I'm just gonna say it for a third time. I guess it bears repeating. If you spend any amount of time in this channel, any seconds at all, if you check out one video, yeah, again, there's some social commentary in there with the hockey, and and I'm hardly one. It's not really my place to do necessarily, but I just wanted to get the story out there. So for no other reason, if you want to click and check the links and read about the Stan Shoot Maxwell as well, I've put up a handful of different things, sources of information on them. And okay, so with that, anyway, any time that you give to this, any consideration to this, especially this video or any other, um, I can't even say never expected at this point. It would be greatly appreciated to this one here. Again, this is the only time I think that I'm going to ask about this specifically. This will be, certainly a very rare thing, the exception and not the rule. Anyways, this is a different mug than I normally use. But cheers, thanks, and bye for now.